Thank you for joining me for practice. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. And in the description is a link to the Patreon account. If you'd like to offer a donation, it's greatly appreciated. Thank you. So this morning I want to start down on our backs. And if you have a strap, that would be helpful to have with you. If you don't have a strap, we can always modify with the hands. So start with your feet a little wider than your hips. Let your knees fall into one another. And just rest your hands comfortably on your belly, fingertips lightly touching one another. So it should take no effort to hold up the legs. Spine is fully supported by the earth. Just take a few moments to watch the rise and fall of the belly, just feeling that underneath your hands without trying to change or control the breath in any way. Notice on the inhale, as the breath comes in, the fingers part. On the exhalation, as the navel falls back to the spine, the fingertips come closer together. And you'll notice that just by paying attention to this movement of the breath, it naturally begins to slow down. The mind grows concentrated. And all the random thoughts, all the vrittis begin to slow and come closer towards one pointed attention. So I feel like summer is a time, particularly in the Midwest, when we try to cram a lot of activity into a very short amount of time while the weather is nice. And so even though summer is a time of busyness and movement and life, it's helpful every once in a while to slow down so that we can keep balance and so that we don't burn out all of that energy that we stored up throughout the winter, but rather find a steady pace. So we're going to slow the practice down just a little bit today and go deeper into the body, into the stillness that's possible there, where we can find deep rest. So on your inhalation, begin to count the length of the inhalation. And then at first here, just match the length of the exhalation to the length of the inhalation. So in other words, if you're breathing in for 5, then exhale for 5. Now, once you establish a steady rhythm there, see if you can extend the exhale breath by 1 count. So again, for that example, if you're breathing in for 5, you'll exhale for 6. Now let's see if you can extend the exhale breath by 2 counts, moving towards 5, 7. And then see if you can go to 3 counts longer, 5, 8. Now, if you find any resistance as you get to these longer lengths, see if you can relax more deeply, letting go deep within the body to allow for that slower pace. And try for 5, 9. If any of this becomes agitating or you feel the body doesn't want to go to that length, then just honor the one that you can maintain and keep steady. No strain, no stress. And then finally, a 1 to 2 count, a true V-Samavriti, inhaling for 5 and exhaling for 10. Again, if it's too much, stay where you can, and keep deeply relaxing through the body. And just 2 more here, please. It's always interesting to observe when there's resistance. When we are in fast forward, when we're rushing or moving about quickly through our lives, sometimes that pressing that pause button or slowing down feels excruciatingly slow, just because our perspective has been a bit skewed with the speed with which we've been moving. But we understand from our knowledge of the nervous system that it is in these periods of rest that we actually increase our digestion. We increase our metabolism. We give the body a chance to not only heal, but also to rejuvenate. And there's one more opportunity for us to slow down and become more present to this moment right here, right now. And all the wisdom teachings say this is the only place where we can find true peace. So you can release that breathing pattern, 1 to 2, and return to something closer to a 5 inhale, 7 exhale. So just the exhale being about 2 counts longer than the inhale. And this is a little bit more sustainable when we start to move into our postures. But at periods or times throughout the practice, we might return back to that 1 to 2 breathing so we can remember the familiarity of it from this opening here in our practice. And we're going to be working with those intentions in our class today, so please bring your hands together in front of your heart. Let your thumbs touch your sternum, and you can draw your chin in so it feels like you're bowing your head to your hands. And we'll set those intentions here in the heart space, surrounding them with the qualities of unconditional love and understanding and compassion. And if there's anything that you want to add to that intention, maybe some things you've been noticing in your own life with regard to the speed at which you move, or just the speed at which the earth and life seems to be moving these days, then bring that into your intention now, making it more personal. And then when you complete that, bring the thumbs to touch a little deeper into the heart. We're going to practice 3 rounds of Om just to align our energy with that vibration of creation. So remember, there's 3 parts, the Ah, O, and and since we're lying on our back, you're going to feel the Ah vibrating, that lower portion, the middle portion, and the upper portion, but you might sense that vibration throughout the whole spine. So take a deep inhale in here. Then start with a long exhale, purging all the old air out of the body. And then take another deep inhale here. And then just lower your hands down by your side for a moment. And then hug your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around the knees, rock a little bit from side to side on the spine, and just start to feel that sensation, waking up awareness along the spine here. Draw your right knee into your chest, extend your left leg long to the floor, pull the right knee in as deeply as you can, and feel that separation between the inner thighs. So a little bit of a groin stretch there. Keep reaching away with your supporting leg. Watch the tendency for that leg to want to tilt out to the side. Try to keep that foot straight. Draw the right knee as close towards that right armpit as possible. So keep giving in through the stretch to go just a little deeper. And then we'll switch sides here. Bring your left knee in, extend your right leg long to the floor, and repeat. Notice if there's any difference between the right side and the left. Keep hugging that left knee towards the armpit while pushing the right foot away. And then both knees into the chest again. As you hug them in, see if you can lengthen the tailbone away from the crown of the head so you get as much space in the spine as possible. Now, here's where you may want to use your strap, and if, again, you don't have one, you can always modify. Extend your left leg long to the floor. You're going to hook the strap around your right foot, or you can hold on to the calf or the big toe if you have the flexibility. Left hand's going to press on top of that left hip bone, and we're just going to flex the right foot, lifting up through that inner ankle and pull the pinky toe side of the foot down. So as you reach up through the inner ankle, notice that stretch along the back side of the leg. And in the morning, we tend to be just a little bit more stiff. So just breathe into it. Keep extending. Let the body acclimate. And then once you feel a little bit of a give, we're going to make some small circles. So you can just hold on to that strap and make some small circles with the right leg. And then you'll feel the hip begin to loosen. And so when that starts to open up for you, then you can widen the circle. And then really just listen to the joint, listen to the messages you receive from the body to maybe take that even further. And we know that this joint mobility, making full, complete circles with the range of motion is really good for the health of the joint. One more here. And then come back to center. Now you're going to hold the strap as close to the right foot as possible. Again, you still can hold the calf or the big toe. And now take that leg out to the side and let the left hip anchor firmly into the floor. So breathe deeply here. And then look over your left shoulder for a moment. So extending out through that leg. Breathe here. Starting to open up the inner thigh. And you don't have to go to your depth yet. We're just warming up, but starting to see where's the body at this morning. And now come back to center, switch hands on the strap. And again, a very gentle twist. So we're going to take that leg all the way over, rolling over the left hip bone. So you can let the whole side body come into the mat. And then right arm opens up. And again, here too, we're going to look over the opposite shoulder. Unless that bothers your neck, you can either keep the head neutral or look at the left shoulder. Now, typically in the beginning of practice, we don't start with very deep twists. And this is a relatively deep twist, but just breathe into it. See if you can keep relaxing. Find that 5-7 breath. The longer exhales will help us to release any tension that we find. One more here. And now slowly roll back onto the back, leg up in the air, and we'll switch sides. So if you have the strap here, you're going to take your left foot into the strap, right leg long to the floor, or hold the calf or the big toe. And just start for a moment with lifting that heel. So reach up through the inner ankle, pull the pinky toe side of your foot down. Make sure your supporting leg stays firm. And see how much you can pull those toes back, working into the calf, maybe down into the hamstring. Perhaps even noticing here, there might be a difference between the left leg and the right. And then once you feel that the leg warms up to that stretch, so in other words, there's like a little bit of a relaxation or an acclimation, then we'll begin those small circles. Just small circles to start. And as the joint warms up, you can feel it releasing and softening, and you can increase the circumference. And eventually getting quite wide with that leg, almost to a full range of motion. These kinds of repetitive movements in the joint help to lubricate them. Very good for the health of the body. Just 2 more here, full circles. Okay, so holding as close to the left foot as possible on the strap or your other bind. Open that leg out to the side. Again, it doesn't have to be to your peak, so just let gravity do the work. Right hand's going to rest on top of that right hip bone. And now look over the right shoulder if you'd like to add in the cervical twist. Still pressing up through the heel. So just as if we had it straight over our head as we did a moment ago. Keep lifting through the inner ankle, pulling the toes back. Let the inner thigh soften. And now we'll bring that leg back to center, switch hands on the strap, and we're going to move into the rotation. So rolling all the way over the right hip bone. It's important to know that you can go into that full twist over the side so that the body can not be overly stressed by trying to maintain that hip down on the floor. Look out over the left shoulder, breathe deeply here. And again, 5-7 breathing, exhale 2 counts longer than the inhale. Keep letting go. And sometimes I think we avoid slowing down because we don't want to feel the intensity of all of this, but it's important to recognize the impact of our actions on our body, on our mind. And that's only possible when we slow and are able to pay attention. So last full breath here. And then gently come back to center, and we'll release the strap. Hug both knees into your chest one more time. You can still wiggle from side to side if you'd like, and then eventually be steady and feel the tailbone lengthen away from the crown, and notice if there's any difference here in how that feels. And we're going to do some rock and rolls to come up, so we want to bring some stimulation to the spine. So hands underneath the knees, roll yourself up into a seated, keep your chin tucked to your chest, and then roll back. And then just keep going back and forth a few times. Letting the spine stay curved. As you rock back and forth, feel some of that prana energy being directed to the spine. Two more. And then come up into a seated position. Cross your legs, find Sukhasana. Sit with a tall spine and just extend the arms for a moment. If you'd like, you can join the index and the thumb together. Just feel the peace there. Notice the sensation in the spine. Sometimes just drawing the body's awareness to an area begins the healing process. Good. From here, we'll inhale, reach the arms up, lift and lengthen through your core, and then exhale and forward fold through your legs. Walk your fingertips out as far as you can. Let your forehead soften. Push down into the palms and lengthen the lower back. Breathe deeply here. Navel hugs the back body. Keep settling that long exhale breath, 5-7. Just taking that extra opportunity to release. And then staying low, just walk your chest over your right thigh, extend your arms out again, and just come into this little bit of a side stretch, as well as a slight twist. Left hip stays anchored. Head and neck is relaxed, shoulders soft. Breathe down into any area of sensation, but particularly feel the breath reaching into the hip, anchoring it to the earth. One more. And then move over to the other direction. So over that left thigh, you can stay low. Extend your fingers out. Press the right hip down. And again, you're going to feel not only the lateral stretch, but that little bit of a twist here. Navel hugs the back body on exhalation. Keep relaxing your shoulders. So even if you relax them once, a lot of times they'll creep back up again. So you have to keep checking in with each breath. And then slowly come back to center. See if you can fold a little more deeply in that central position. And then pressing down into your hips, bring your arms in alignment with your ears, flatten your back and come all the way up and circle your arms behind you. Point your fingertips towards your hips and then puff up your chest. So lift your heart, lift your sternum, stretch into the front of the shoulders. We get so tight in our posture here from rounded shoulders. And we want to feel that beautiful opening. And if you want to keep going, you can press into the knees, absorb the tailbone into the body, and stretch through that whole front. Deep breaths here. Don't hold the breath. Take it right into the heart, right into the chest. Belly, ribs, chest on inhale. Exhale, belly, ribs, chest on exhale. And then slowly bring the hips down. Once again, extend your arms and just take in that sensation. Just feel. Good. Right fingertips to the floor. Inhale the left arm up. Walk that right hand out. And feel this lateral stretch. Left hip anchors. Fingertips reach away. Right ear falls to the right shoulder. Now, as you breathe into the rib cage, open it up. Let that lung get as much breath in there as possible. And then stay in the lateral stretch as you just take this left arm over your head. Keep taking it all the way down till it hovers about a foot above the ground. Then turn the palm down so it faces the earth. And now reach the fingers as far away as you can and stretch from the fingertips. Feel the stretch lengthen through the shoulder, up into the neck, maybe even up into the cranium. So we've got that lateral lengthening as well as this opening for the neck. And then pull those fingers so it takes you back to a seated position. And then slowly use your right hand to push your head to neutral. Take a moment there just to feel. Inhale the right arm up. Walk your left hand out. Lateral stretch on this side. So push the hip away from the fingertips. Pinky finger rotates towards the floor. Draw the head of the shoulder into its socket. So you've got space there between the shoulder and the ear. And now really it's the work of the breath. So sending that breath into the ribs, expanding them there. Keep it reaching away. And now left ear to left shoulder. Take the neck out of it. And now right arm goes up. And as it comes all the way down to about a foot above the ground, turn the palm down and feel like someone's pulling your fingers away from you. And just let that stretch go into the shoulder, into the neck. And all the tension that likes to accumulate there, just feel it spilling out through those fingertips. Just releasing for good. Just give it away. And then slowly come back up, pull those fingers like someone's got your arm, and then use your left hand to tilt your head back to neutral. Sit tall once again if you'd like to join the index and thumb together, and just observe. And we'll come into tabletop position for some undulations of the spine. Bring your hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips, tops of the feet pressed firmly into the earth. Inhale, lift your heart, lift your sit bones, look up. And then exhale, draw your navel to your spine, round your back, take your sit bones to the heels for child's pose. Inhale, come back up into tabletop position. Heart lift, sit bones lift. Exhale, draw the navel to the spine, round the back, take the sit bones to the heels, child's pose. Good, now with your breath, inhaling for 5 counts. And exhale for 7. So counting in the mind until you establish the pattern. Inhale, 5 breaths, or 5 counts rather. Exhale, 8 counts on the exhale, just a little longer. Take your time, slow down. Inhale 5. Exhale 9. Inhale 5. And exhale 10. Good. Stay in child's pose for 1 extra breath. Return to 5-7. And then with your elbows down into your mat, wrap your hands around the middle part of your arms. Either interlace your fingers, press your forearms down, or spread your palms wide with your forearms parallel. Tuck your back toes under, lift your sit bones up and back, and come into dolphin variation of down dog or forearm down dog. If you want to pedal the feet here, press one heel down. And then you can press the other heel down. And just shift back and forth a few times, opening up the back of the legs. Find your feet hip distance apart. Turn your toes in slightly, heels out. Roll your inner thighs in and back. Allow your sit bones to spread. So once the sit bones spread, see if you can lift the tailbone just a little bit higher, lengthening the lower back, lengthening the spine. Head and neck just hangs. And you don't have to worry too much about the upper body, because as long as you measured out the elbows, everything in the upper body is nice and stable. You get a beautiful opening through the heart, front and back, shoulders, and that head and neck just hangs as traction for the spine. 2 more here. And then bring your knees down, sit bones to the heels, round the back. Take your hands by your heels and just let the shoulders really melt away from the ears. So embryo variation of rest. Good. Staying in this position, tuck your chin in as deeply as you can. And now you're going to roll up onto the crown of the head. Interlace your fingers behind your back and take your knuckles up and away from you and stretch out your shoulders. So this is a variation of Sasangasana, rabbit pose. Feeling that stimulation there for the crown of the head. Feeling that beautiful stretch of the shoulders. It comes more from squeezing those shoulder blades together, squeezing the upper arm bones together. And then gently lower the hands down, come back into embryo. Arms forward, tabletop position. Lift the heart, lift the sit bones, look up. And now exhale, tuck the toes, find downward facing dog. So it's very similar to that forearm down dog. Legs and feet stay the same, but in the upper body, roll your shoulder heads away from your ears and squeeze your inner elbows toward one another. Press firmly through the hands, particularly the web of the index and thumb. Make sure there is that slight turning into the toes, heels out, so that encourages that inner rotation. As you keep that inner rotation, you've got that more room to create that lift in the spine. So we're both anchored in the feet and hands, and at the same time we're lifting up so that we have a buoyancy to the body and we're releasing some of the pressure on the joints. 2 more breaths here, please. 5-7 breathing. One more. Take that navel in and up on exhalation. And at the bottom of the exhalation, if the navel's in and up, then you can come onto the balls of the feet, look at the hands. It's during retention that you would hop forward. Inhale to monkey pose and exhale, fold. So we're going to do a little bit of dynamic monkey. You can have your hands either on your shins or you can hook your index middle thumb around your big toe. Inhale, pull away, straighten your arms, straighten your spine as best you can, straighten your legs. And then exhale, bend knees, bend elbows, relax head and neck. Again, inhale, pull away. Inhale, lengthen as much space as you can find in the spine. And then exhale, forward fold. 3 more. Inhaling, 5 counts. Exhale, 7 counts. Inhale, 5. Exhale, 8. Inhale, 5. Exhale, 9. Really take your time. Navel deeply into the body. We'll actually do 1 more to get to that 5-10. So inhale, pull away. Long, slow pulling of the navel in and up for that 10 count exhale. Then hands to hips, scoop the heart, bend your knees if you need to, and slowly rise up to standing. Roll your shoulder heads up and back, and just take a moment in Samastiti. Just feel. Returning to 5-7 breathing. Notice how your attention is coming into the present moment, whether that's through the medium of sensation in the body, through the quieting of the mind, and the deepening of the breath. Okay, so at the front of your mat, we're going to begin our sun salutations. We're actually going to do a modified variation here. Hands together in front of the heart, big toes touching, space between the heels or feet hip distance apart. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, sink into chair. Stay for the inhale. Lower the shoulders, tailbone under, lower belly lifts. Open the heart just a little bit more. And then exhale, forward fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway into monkey pose, so hands on the shin or floor, flat back. And then exhale, just step back to downward facing dog. So from down dog, bring your feet together, come onto the balls of the feet, reach the right leg up in the air. Exhale, the left heel down. Inhale, the right leg as high as you can, and then exhale, swing it through for pigeon pose. Knee to right wrist. Inhale, extend through your heart, open up, and now exhale, starting on your forearms. We're going to take 3 breaths here in modified pigeon. Top of the back foot's grounding, hips are squared. 5-7 breath. And we don't want to get too comfortable there, so hands back under the shoulders, tuck the back toes under, extend the right leg all the way up in the air, and then exhale to downward facing dog. We'll come forward for a vinyasa, so inhale to plank position. Modify here, bringing knees to floor. Squeeze the elbows tight as your belly comes down. Inhale, elbows and shoulders pull back for cobra, and exhale, navel up and back for downward facing dog. Feet are together, balls of your feet. Inhale, the left leg up. Exhale, the right heel down. Inhale, the left leg as high as you can, and again, exhale, swing through for pigeon on this side, so left knee to wrist. Inhale, extend the heart, fingers by the hips to extend up. And then exhale, we'll start with a modified version. Just come to your forearms, and we'll take our 3 breaths here, 5-7 breathing. So easing into the body, easing into getting still. Good. Without getting too comfortable, hands back under the shoulders, tuck the back toes under, extend the left leg up in the air, and exhale, downward facing dog. So we'll take 5 full breaths here in downward facing dog. 5-7 breathing. Keep pulling that navel in and up on exhalation, because as we activate the core, activate the navel center, this too provides a sense of stability, a sense of slowing down and connecting to our core. One more. Again, if you pull that belly in and up at the bottom of your exhalation on retention, it should be okay to come onto the balls of your feet, bend your knees, look at your hands, and you can either step or hop your feet forward. Inhale into monkey pose, flat back, and then exhale, forward fold over your legs. Inhale, bend your knees, arms reach chair. Stay for the exhale and go just a little bit deeper. Inhale, reach up to standing, and then exhale, hands to the heart. So that's 1 round. Let's do that again. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, chair. Stay for inhale, lower shoulders, tailbone under, lower belly lifts. Open the heart a little more. Exhale, forward fold over your legs. Inhale, monkey pose. Hands on the shin or floor, flat back, and exhale, step back just to downward facing dog. Come onto the balls of your feet, feet together. Inhale, that right leg up. Exhale, the left heel down. Inhale the right just a little bit higher, and now exhale, swing through for pigeon. Inhale, fingers by the hips, open up, get a little bit more extension, and exhale, come down. Now you can come down to forearms, or you can just let that whole upper body come into the mat. 3 breaths here, please. Again, without getting too comfortable, hands go back under the shoulders, tuck the back toes under, inhale the right leg up in the air, and then exhale to downward facing dog. We'll take a vinyasa here. Inhale the plank. You can leave the knees lifted this time for chaturanga. Inhale, then you roll over the toes into upward facing dog, and exhale to downward facing dog. Feet are together, balls of your feet. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale the right heel down. Inhale the left a little higher, and exhale, swing it through for pigeon on this side. Hands beside the hips. Inhale, extend through that front body, and exhale, walk it out. You can still go to forearms if you'd like, or whole upper body comes down when you're ready. Hips remain square. And again, without getting too comfortable, hands under the shoulders, tuck the back toes under, lift that left leg all the way up in the air, and exhale, downward facing dog for 5 breaths. So you'll notice that each of those pigeon poses, as we go in a little longer, a little more calm, body falls into that pattern of stability, of slowing down. Creating those patterns in the mind helps make them more of the default. If we create a lot of patterns of rushing and stress, then that becomes the default. Last breath here. And rise onto the balls of your feet, bend your knees, look at your hands, step, or lightly hop your feet forward. Inhale to monkey pose with a flat back. Exhale in forward fold. Inhale to chair pose, so bend the knees, arms reach, stay for the exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Inhale, reach up, lengthen through that front body, and exhale, hands to the side or to the heart. One more, inhale, reach. Exhale, sink into chair. Stay for the inhale, lower the shoulders, tailbone under, lower belly lifts, open the heart more. Exhale, forward fold over the legs. Inhale to monkey pose with a flat back, and exhale, step or lightly hop back to down dog. Feet together, balls of your feet. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale the left heel down. Inhale the right leg a little bit higher, and exhale, swing through for pigeon. Last one, inhale, extend through the heart, and exhale, walk it out. See how much space you can get here. Really lengthen. Hands back under the shoulders, tuck the toes, extend that right leg up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Vinyasa here your way, so inhale to plank, knees lowered or lifted for chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale to down dog last time, left leg lifts. Exhale the right heel down, inhale the left a little higher. Exhale, swing it through for pigeon on this side. Inhale, extend through the heart. And exhale, walk it out. 3 breaths. Hands back under the shoulders, tuck the toes, extend that left leg up in the air, and exhale, downward facing dog for 5 full breaths, please. Keep taking that navel in and up. Hollow out the belly. And then when you finish, balls of your feet, bend your knees, look at your hands, step or lightly hop your feet forward. Inhale to monkey pose with a flat back. Exhale in forward fold. Inhale, bend your knees, arms reach chair. Stay for the exhale, sink a little deeper. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, hands to heart. We're gonna step our right leg out Line the front heel with the arch of the back foot for a 3.5 foot stance, preparing for triangle, so hips are going to be open to the side wall. So inhale, the arms extend long. Now exhale, feel like someone's pulling your arm forward as your hips go back. Lengthen as much as you can, only to halfway, and then inhale, come back up. We're going to repeat that again. Exhale, pull that arm forward. Lengthen, 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 lengthen. Feel that stretch along the outer hip. Inhale, come back up. Exhale. Last one, we're going to lengthen as much as you can. Really feel the side bodies. Inhale, come up. And now this one, we're going to go down to stay, and we're going to get steady. So exhale, lengthen over that front leg. And then hand to shin, ankle, foot floor. You can hook the index, middle thumb around the big toe. Right arm goes right up in the air. So Trikonasana triangle. Once you find the posture, try to get steady here. And we'll do those breaths in the pose. So inhale for 5 counts. And exhale for 7. Inhale 5. Exhale for 8. Try not to move. Try to get really steady. Inhale for 5. And exhale for 9. Going a little longer, a little more contraction in the abdomen. Inhale 5. And exhale for 10. Good. Pull up with that right arm. If you'd like, you can look down at the floor, come back up into standing, turn your toes in, hands to hips, and settle for a moment. Let the energy rest. Switch sides. So heel of the right foot to the arch of the left foot. You're still at about 3.5 feet. Inhale the arms long. Exhale, lengthen over that front leg, sending the hips back. So how much space can you get in the side body? Inhale, rise up. And exhale, lengthen, pull, feel space. Inhale up. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale up. Last one. Now this time we're going to go down, you're going to stay, and we're going to get still. So you're going to lengthen as much as you can over that front leg. Think of out first and then down. So hand to shin, ankle, foot. Maybe you can hook index, middle thumb around big toe, left arm is up. Fingers are together. Traditionally gaze is up at the hand, but if it bothers your neck, stay neutral. And then wherever you can get steady, fix your eyes and inhale for 5 counts. And then exhale for 7. Inhale 5. And exhale for 8. Inhale 5. Exhale 9. Very steady. Inhale 5. Exhale 10. Good. Slowly pull that hand back. You can look down at the floor. It helps to come up. Bring the hands to the hips. Turn the toes in. Settle for just a moment. And then you'll step back to the front of your mat into Samastiti. And now gaze at the tip of your nose. So really stabilizing the mind. Once again, you're going to open up. And this time we're going to take a longer stance. So find about 4.5 feet. Press into the ball of the front foot, the outside edge of the back foot. Bend into that front knee. Inhale the arms nice and long. We're going to move dynamic again. So left elbow to the left thigh, right arm up and over the head. Feel that extension and then keep the knee bent. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, left forearm comes down. Right arm up and over the head. Reach the outer foot from the fingertips. And then inhale and come up. Exhale, come down, last one. How much space can you create? And inhale, come back up. So this time we're gonna stay, so you can bring that left forearm onto the thigh. If it helps, keep the right arm straight up in the air if that's more comfortable for your shoulders. But if you can take the arm over the head, palm faces down, pinky finger rotates towards the floor. Again, we're gonna do that breathing. So inhale for 5, get steady, exhale for 7. Traditionally gazes up at the inner arm, but you can keep the neck neutral. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 8. Steady body. Inhale 5. Exhale 9. Inhale 5. And exhale 10. Good. Inhale, that right arm comes up. Pull like someone's pulling your arm behind you. Come back to neutral. Toes in, heels out. Stance is wide, hands on hips. Stabilize. Totally still, gaze is still. Switch the feet. So front heel to arch, push in the ball of the front foot, activate the foot by lifting the toes, press to the outside edge of the back foot, inhale the arms long, and again, we're gonna go into that posture, so we're gonna get that knee in alignment with the ankle, try to move the knee towards the pinky toe side of your foot. Inhale here, spread the chest, exhale, right forearm down, left arm up and over the head. Keep the knee bent, inhale, come back up. Repeat, exhale, right forearm down, left arm up and over the head. Make sure you don't sink in that bottom shoulder. Keep space between the shoulder and the ear. Inhale again. Exhale. Inhale. This one we're going to go down to stay. So you can keep that right forearm down. You can take the left arm just straight up in the air if that's easier for your chest and upper back. Or you can turn the palm down. Pinky finger rotates towards the floor. Keep reaching the outer foot away from the fingertips. Space in that bottom shoulder. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 7. Navel in. Inhale 5. Exhale 8. Keep relaxing while maintaining the posture. Inhale 5. Exhale 9. Pelvic floor lifting. Inhale 5. Exhale 10. Inhale the left arm up. Use that to come back up into standing. Turn the toes in for a moment. Hands to hips, rest. Then step back to the front of your mat, and in Samastiti here, just gaze at the tip of the nose. Steady the eyes. Feel everything settling, all that prana in the body coming to that concentration point. Okay, we're going to vinyasa slow from here, so either big toes are touching, space between the heels, or hands, feet hip distance apart, hands together in front of your heart. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold, navel to spine. Traditional vinyasa. Inhale, halfway to monkey pose. Hands on the shin or floor, flat back. Exhale, step or lightly hop back to plank position. Knees lowered or lifted for chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Heart is open. And exhale to downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Hollow out the belly. Good. Feet are going to be together. Come onto the balls of your feet. Inhale the right leg up in the air. Sorry, I said that wrong. Feet together, balls of your feet. Come on. Feet together, balls of your feet. Inhale the left leg up in the air. Exhale the right heel down. Inhale the left leg as high as you can. And now exhale, swing that through for warrior two. So again, it's that long stance we had a moment ago, heel to arch alignment. Come up through warrior one, open hip and shoulder to the right, warrior two. Your hips are open here to the side wall. You want to make sure that knee moves in alignment with the ankle and also towards the pinky toe side of your foot. So you're opening up the inner groin. Press firmly to the outside edge of the back foot. Arms extend long, gaze over the middle finger of the left hand. If you have shoulder tension, you can turn your palms up for a moment, feel the weight of the arms. Feel all that stress melting out of the shoulders and neck, down the arms, and then just rotate the palms back down. And breathe here, starting with your 5-7 count. And to 8. Keep letting go. Inhale. Exhale, 9. Gaze a steady, body steady. Inhale. Exhale, 10. Back hand to thigh. Inhale, look at that left palm straight in the front leg. Open up through that whole left side of the body. And then we're going to pinwheel the fingertips to the floor, pivoting on the ball of the back foot. Now, once you come into a high lunge position, fingers in a finger stand, plant your right hand down and inhale your left arm up. Rotating the navel, giving a nice twist here just to release the spine. Make sure the outside of your left hip is rotating down. Get stable. Body steady, mind steady, eyes steady. And then left hand comes down, step the right foot forward to the fingertips, or to the other toes, forward fold over the leg. Navel hugs in on exhalation. Inhale, reach all the way up. Arms lift overhead. And exhale, hands to the heart. Rest. You can either have your eyes closed or a steady gaze at the tip of the nose. Big toes are touching space between the heels, hands together in front of the heart or feet hip distance apart. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway to monkey pose. Flat back and exhale, step or lightly hop back to plank position. Again, Chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog, and exhale to downward facing dog. Feet are together, balls of your feet. Inhale the right leg up in the air. Exhale the left heel down. Inhale the right leg as high as you can, and now swing that through for warrior two on this side. So heel to arch alignment. Come up through warrior one, open hip and shoulder to the left, warrior two. Push into the ball of the front foot, anchor to the outside edge of the back foot. Make sure that knee is opening up towards the pinky toe side of the foot. Inhale those arms long, look over the middle finger of the right hand. Inhale for 5 counts. Exhale for 7. Get steady. You can do that trick with the arms if you need to. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 8. Inhale 5. Steady as you can be. Exhale 9. Inhale 5. Exhale 10. Inhale, reverse that palm, straighten the front leg, open up that whole line, releasing the leg. And now pinwheel your fingertips to the floor. Pivot on the ball of the back foot for high lunge position. Make sure the hips are squared, fingers in a finger stand. When you're ready, plant the left hand down now. Reach the right arm up. Rotate the navel. Outside of the right hip is going to rotate down towards the floor. Good. One more here. Now, this time as you bring the fingertips down, we're actually going to walk our hands toward the middle of the mat. Turn the toes in, heels out. Fingers in a finger stand. Inhale, lengthen the heart forward first. And now exhale and fold through the legs. So we're going to come into this Prasarita Padottanasana, foot spreading posture. If you have the ability to get the head to the floor, that's ideal. So we want to get that stimulation of the crown, fingertips lined up with the toes, elbows bent through the legs. Now, if you can't get the head to the floor, but you're close, widen the stance. If you're not close at all, maybe try a block underneath the head so that you can get that stimulation of the crown. The other option is to come into headstand from here. So you would interlace the fingers around the arms, making sure that they're shoulder distance apart. And then you're going to go ahead and interlace your fingers so that you have the pinky finger tucked underneath you, and then the head goes into the hands. Pressing down into the forearms, you're going to slowly come up to headstand. So any of those options are fine, whatever feels most comfortable for you. As you extend up, reach through the balls of the feet. And you want headstand to feel calming here. So if it's not calming, go back to one of the other postures. Remember, there's not too much weight on the head. Maybe about 1/10 of your body weight. Forearms are pressing down deeply, shoulders are engaged. Eyes are fixed. Feel the effects of reversing gravity, bringing more blood down to the heart and head. Now, when you're ready, you can slowly come out of it. If you're in headstand, you'll widen the legs and bring them back down. Take a moment just to settle there. And then slowly come back into a monkey pose. So fingers in a finger stand, let the blood level out. We were down there for a little bit, so we want to be mindful. Heel toe your feet in, bring your hands to your hips. Come about 3/4 of the way up. A little bit more until you feel ready to come all the way up to standing. Turn the toes out, heels in, bend the knees, elbows into the quads, and press the forearms away. So sumo wrestler stance for squat. As you push the forearms towards the knees, allow the tailbone to lengthen towards the floor just a little more. So really separating the groin, creating that space there. And then we're going to straighten the legs, heel toe the feet in a little bit more, and come into your wide squat. So your Malasana, elbows on the insides of the hands, elbows on the insides of the knees, hands to the heart. Feel steady here. You can always place a block underneath your hips if you need to. You can either close your eyes or gaze at the tip of your nose. Quieting the mind. And then we'll come the rest of the way down. You can just lower your hips to the floor and extend your legs straight. We'll start in Dandasana first, just as a reset pose. Anchor down through the palms. Create space in the spine by lifting through the inner body, pelvic floor, core. Press through the heels of the feet. Keep the legs engaged. And the chin is in slightly, back of the neck is long, so creating what feels like Treta Bandha here, Mula, Uddiyana, and Jalandhara Bandha. Okay. Upavishta Konasana, open the feet wide. Have your hands on the inside of your pelvis and then scoot forward so you've got that anterior tilt of the pelvic floor. Feet are flexed. Fingers in a finger stand to start, and we're going to work with that breathing. So with a tall spine, take a 5 count inhale. And as you exhale for 7 counts, walk your fingers forward just until your body gives you permission. And then stop, take a 5 count inhale. And an 8 count exhale as you walk out again, just listening to the body. Maybe you're already at your peak, you'll stay there. Inhale 5 counts. If you can, walk out a little further for that 9 count exhale. Maybe forearms come to the floor. If not, that's okay. You can just stay exactly where you are. Inhale for 5 counts. And exhale for 10. So once you get to that 10 count exhale, you're going to just let the body do the rest of the work, continuing to stay at a 5-10 ratio. So inhale 5, exhale 10. Keep getting more and more still. Now try not to move a muscle. Try to be as steady in the body and mind as possible. Once you find your position, you're just going to stay still. Remember to maintain that 5-10. Keep letting go on a very deep level, releasing the resistance that you encounter. Last one. And then you're going to just slowly, carefully take your time. We were there for a bit. It's deep. Just pad your hands into the earth and come back up into a tall spine. Either eyes closed or soft gaze at the tip of the nose. And then hands underneath your knees. You're going to gently release them, coming into a cross-legged position, just Sukhasana. Once again, we'll extend the arms. Index and thumb come together. Just feel that reset. Good. Right foot into the crease of the left elbow. Wrap your right arm around and just rock a little bit from side to side. So we want to make sure that the hip joint feels loved and cared for. Good. And then we're going to place this right foot directly on top of your left knee. Your left foot's going to go directly underneath your right knee. And it's okay if the knee is up in the air. If it's way too intense for you, you're welcome to slide it down your calf. But what you want to see is a triangle between your legs without anything in the way. So finding this double pigeon, we sometimes call this double pigeon or Agni Stambhasana, fire log pose. Fingers in a finger stand, heart is forward, spine is tall. Just start to close the eyes and walk forward. So we had done our pigeon at the very beginning of the practice to warm up for this posture. Now we find this double pigeon is much deeper. So if you feel that you're releasing tension on one side of the hip, make sure you don't gather it on the other side, clenching. Really listen to the body. Keep telling the body to relax, to trust. It's okay. And you do that through a nice, slow, steady breath. 5, 7. If you want to go longer with your counts here, you can, but certainly just staying at 5, 7 and keeping that steady is good as well. If the body softens, you might be able to go further into the forward bend. If it doesn't soften, then you're just going to listen to that and stay. Still in the mind. Send the breath into the pelvic floor. Last one. And now slowly come back, take your time again, sit tall. We're gonna release back into Sukhasana, so just cross the legs, index and thumb together. Steady. And then we'll do the other side, so the left foot now goes into the crease of the right elbow. And you're wrapping your arm around, you're gonna rock back and forth. Try to keep that heart open as you rock, tall spine. Listen to the joint, so it'll tell you what it needs. Maybe slow, maybe a little faster. And now we're gonna come into that posture on the other side. So the left ankle goes on top of the right knee, and the right ankle goes directly under the left knee. You look between your legs, look for a triangle without anything in the way. So the calves are completely stacked. Flex the feet to protect the knees. Fingers into finger stand, heart is forward and up. And now just come forward. You can close your eyes or soft gaze. And you're just gonna lean into the posture until you find or encounter that first area of sensation. And then just breathe there and just listen. And I find in my own life in times when I wasn't listening to my body, that's usually when injury occurs, whether that's in my practice or just in my life. Maybe my body was asking me to slow down and I wasn't paying attention, so it finally made me slow down. And we don't want to get to that point. We want to listen now, give it what it needs so that we can have sustained health. Again, here too, watch as you let go of tension in one hip that you don't start gripping the other hip. It's very intuitive to try to protect. Keep letting go. When you finish your last one, you're just going to slowly come back up. Again, just cross your ankles, join your index and thumb together. Either gazing at the tip of the nose or eyes closed. And then last posture, variation of Yoga Mudrasana. If you can come into half lotus, you're going to reach for the outside of your right foot and take that into the crease of the left hip and left thigh. Half lotus is perfectly fine. If you're feeling comfortable for full lotus, we have done a lot of work to open the hips today, so then that left leg will come up as well. And then from here, we're going to wrap the hands around our back. Now, if you can't reach around and grab the toes, then you can grab for either elbow behind the body. And then we're just going to start to forward fold in the posture here. Breathe deeply. Again, spine stays long. Keep the heart open. And then slowly come back up, release the legs, and then we'll find our way into Shavasana. So coming onto your back, once again like we started, knees into chest, spine nice and long, fully supported. If you want to rock a little bit from side to side, sometimes it just loosens everything up. And then straighten the legs, wrap the hands either around the back of the calves, or if you can, hook the index middle thumb around your big toe. Lift up through the inner ankle, pull the pinky toe side of your feet back. Create as much length in your spine as possible. So from tailbone all the way to the crown, shoulder heads anchoring into your shoulder sockets. And then if you'd like, you can release the feet. You can take your thumbs underneath your hips. Slowly bring both legs down and then reach out through the balls of the feet. Lift the heart, crown of the head into the mat. Did a lot of forward bending. So just a gentle back bend here. Matsuyasana, fish pose. Just releasing that heart and chest. And then releasing the head, coming to rest on the back. Legs move a little wider than hip distance apart. Arms are down by your side, palms face up. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Heart is open. And then just settle in. Let the whole body rest. So hopefully you find it's easier to tap into that still point. And even though we no longer need to control the breath here, just begin to find that not only is the exhale naturally a little longer, but perhaps at the bottom of the exhale is a soft pause, a place of no breath, no movement, total and complete stillness. And it is there that you can settle the mind. So just take a moment to feel the body resting in this time and space. The air as it meets the skin. And feel the breath as it enters into the lungs. Slowly deepening with each breath. Until the body becomes alive and energy starts moving down towards the fingers and the toes. And you can begin to wiggle them. And if you'd like, roll wrists and ankles. Maybe do a good morning stretch. And eventually curl to your right side and rest in fetal for a moment. Arm under the head as a pillow. And placing the left hand into the earth, head and neck heavy. Slowly come back up into a seated position. If you'd like, you can prop your sit bones up on a blanket or bolster. Sit with a tall spine and a relaxed body. With the index finger and the thumb joined together again, take a moment to practice what we call Kaya Sthira. So we're going to take 1 full minute in total perfect body steadiness. Kaya meaning body, Sthira meaning steadiness. So for 1 full minute, you're not going to move a muscle. Begin. And then from that Kaya Sthira, just noticing how much easier it is to settle into the stillness from when we first started class. And bring your hands together in front of your heart. Let your thumbs touch your sternum and bow your head to your hands. And just go back to the intention that we set and trust that you received what you could receive from it, and let the rest go. And take a deep inhale in. We'll complete the practice with the chant of Om. Take a long exhale out again to really purge the lungs of all old, stale air. Now 1 more deep inhale in. Namaste.